What's up, guys? It's your boy, Radical. Now, my workout plans have been a success. More than 300 plus purchases and many more returning customers. You cannot ask for anything else, and people are loving it. The same life-changing and affordable prices still remain. So go to radicallatino.com and change your life today. Hey guys, do you have a product you want more eyes on? Advertise with the Radical Latino Show, where over 10K podcast downloads and the number 25 spot on the 55 All Latin podcast list. You'll want your product heard on everyone's phones and cars. Go to radicallatino.com/contacts and start advertising today.
Playing the Radical Latino Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands in the air for New York's very own.
Radical.
Latino is taking you to another level.
I think there's more radicals than civil. Radical Latino, you're buffing it. The radical point of views, I think his views are actually more dangerous.
What up, my people? Welcome back to another episode of the Radical Latino Show. It's your host, the Radical Latino, aka number 17 of all Latin podcasts, aka number 24 of all Bronx podcast influencer list, and Mr. Unsuable for 88 weeks running. What is going on? I hope everybody is doing great. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everybody's going back into their normal get together stance type of a thing. Look, listen, I'm so sorry that I'm late. I got a lot of things going on. Remember, I'm still working on this documentary. And for the people who don't know, I'm working on a documentary called Open Wounds, An Island Divided. I'm trying to make Open Wounds like a whole documentary series and stuff like that. So Open Wounds, An Island Divided. Go to the website officialopenwoundsmovie.com and definitely go check it out. Go check out part 1. It's a 4-part series. I'm currently recording part 2. And let me give you guys an update. First of all, go to my Instagram, radical_latino_ to check out the updates that I've been giving y'all. Because I already recorded with the homie Brotep. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the homie Brotep, you know what I mean? He's definitely in the movie. Bro, man, listen, it's really hard trying to get some of these scholars. It's really hard trying to get some of these, educated individuals into the mix. So it's really hard, you know what I mean? But it is what it is. Movie's still on the process, so definitely just stay tuned. Again, YouTube videos on a daily. Now, let me just do something real quick. All right, let me correct something right quick. All right, so for the past week or so, I've been putting out YouTube videos correcting the misinformation and disinformation about Latinos and our culture. Now, our culture is very broad. It's also very complicated. It's not something that you could just easily fit into one word. You know what I'm saying? We are a group of people that experience the unthinkable and also have experienced other things alongside it. So, with that being said, we are a very unique group of people with a very unique culture that it's not easily understandable from the outside looking in, right? So, what I started to do was curve some of the disinformation that is coming from any community. That means any community. It could be white, it could be Asian, it could be black. Any community that is talking ill about Latinos and our culture I am going to check. And I'm going to curb. You know what I'm saying? Any misinformation, disinformation, and I'm going to do it respectfully. You know, there's a lot of times, a lot of people, I'm going to just give an example like Chivo, right? When he wants to, for example, everybody probably seen it, you know, his form of correcting individuals, let's say black people, he will go with some of the information, and the information gets lost and diluted by the racism that he spews. That's just an example right then and there. I don't, first of all, one, there's no reason to be going, you know, racism with racism. There's no reason for none of that. Anybody could easily get debunked by just using your mouthpiece. That's all it is, right? So that's what I have taken myself to doing. Just correcting people and curving the disinformation respectfully. Now, if I get disrespect, I'm gonna give disrespect right back. I'm not just gonna hold it. Which goes to my debate that I had yesterday. This debate that I had yesterday with an individual started by the comment section, and apparently this individual went all hot and heavy on my comment section, being wild disrespectful, talking about go back to your land, go do this, you know what I'm saying? Build your own country. Why, you know, this is ADOS and all this other BS, you know, being wild xenophobic. So I'm like, okay, you're coming at me, first of all, wild disrespectful. All right, I'm gonna be disrespectful back and say, okay, you're telling me to go clean up my land. Why don't you clean up your neighborhood? I'm being disrespectful right back. Again, I'm not calling nobody no N-word. I'm not calling nobody no derogatory names whatsoever. The thing is that I believe that we can actually have a dialogue respectfully. But if you go and cross that line being disrespectful, I'm going to match it being disrespectful as well. You know what I'm saying? But there is a line that I don't think that nobody should be crossing. But if they cross that line, it is what it is. That's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? There's other ways to go in handling it. But this is a perfect reason, and I like this, that this debate happened. A perfect reason for the topic of this show, because I was going to do this topic of the show anyway. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about the debate for 1 second. Some of my detractors, like, you know, buffoonish Kim 123, midget gelato, you know what I'm saying? First of all, bluish, how you have a grown man face and a toddler body, I don't get it. I just don't get it. This dude shops at Baby Gap. His shoe size are probably 4. So I just don't get it. This guy is 5'2", shopping at Baby Gap. You shouldn't have all that. You shouldn't have all that energy in a little ass body. Yo, chill out, bro. Calm down. It's not that serious. All right, all right. It's not that serious. You know what I mean? He needs a child seat every time he goes into a car. Anyway, my fault. So, you know, he's just an angry little kid. You know what I mean? Bluish is an angry little kid. Anyway. I digress. I'm glad this debate happened, right? Because all my detractors, you know, they took this upon themselves because they're brain dead and boasted it up like it's the biggest thing in the world. And I found that so hilarious because I'm like, all right, you're giving my channel free promotion. That's one. 2, you're saying that I'm losing in something that I really don't think anybody else won. First of all, 1, at the middle of that debate, I said, you know what? Fuck it. This guy just wants to fight just to fight. He wants to argue just to argue. I'm going to give it to him because it is what it is. Nobody's going to fucking win this thing. 2, end up finding out the guy's a goddamn divester. He believes in getting with white women and he doesn't like black women whatsoever, something like that. I don't know. And 3, again, it was completely retarded. It was a retarded conversation. I didn't even think we need to have it. I'm like, yeah, nobody really won that debate. Nobody really won. I just put it up there just for entertainment because it's very entertaining. You know what I'm saying? I bet you $100 that's gonna be that dude's and Bluish and Kim's biggest videos. I'm telling y'all right now. That's gonna hit 1K. I'm telling y'all right now. But anyway, going back to what I'm saying. So in that debate, it was just a waste of time. It was just a waste of time. There was there's other way. All I gotta say is, in any form of discussion, any form of debate, once a person starts yelling, you lost. Let's keep it 1,000. You lost. It is what it is. All you gotta do is just walk away, get your trophy, and be out. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But it's a learning curve for everybody, especially me. You know what I mean? Because I want to stay in there. I want to see how far I can take this. But anyway, listen. Let's move into our first topic of the day. Kevin Samuels. Oh man. Kevin Samuels passed away at the age of, I'm hearing different numbers, 56, 57, man, mid-50s. Kevin Samuels passed away at his mid-50s. Very sad situation, very sad turn of events. One thing that I've seen that I find extremely petty, disrespectful, is all these women coming out of the woodworks celebrating this dude's death, which is insane. It says a lot about someone's character. It says a lot about someone who, it just says a lot about you, especially men. There was a couple of men out here going, he's dead. I'm like, hey yo, what the hell is this? Why are you acting like a woman? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that's so weird. And I didn't like it. It felt really weird. I didn't like it. First of all, rest in peace for Kevin Samuels. Let me give you guys the story. Apparently, Kevin Samuels went home with a fly-looking shorty, right? I think she's Latina or something like that. She's a nurse. Spent the night with Kevin Samuels. The next day, he's complaining of chest pains, passes out right in front of her. She calls 911, which the 911 calls got leaked. It's on my YouTube channel. Go check it out. She calls 911 and she's trying to tell people, hey, this is Kevin Samuels, the famous guy, Kevin Samuels, and nobody really cared, which was kind of crazy to me. And you hear her on the phone kind of panicking, and then he's got pronounced dead. He's passed away. I didn't believe it at first because it was a rumor, and no big publications have confirmed it whatsoever. And this is the weird part, it was a rumor for a long time until Kevin Samuels' mom actually confirmed it. Now, one thing that I will say about Kevin Samuels is he was an equal opportunist, shit giver. Let's just say that. He was an equal opportunist shit giver. He criticized men the same way he criticized women. So the narrative that I'm hearing about black women, he wasn't just going after black women. He was telling the truth about everybody. Okay, if you are 250 and you 5'4" with 3 kids, yeah, you a linebacker. Sit your ass down and be humble. And get with an electrician who's actually gonna provide for you. This is the type of stuff that Kevin Samuels will say. Kevin Samuels will also say this to men. Don't think that you're just you're 5'8", wow skinny, and you're broke, still living at home with your parents, that you're gonna get a fly shorty. These women are not gonna respect you. And that's what Kevin Samuels will say. And I 1000% agree to that. I 1000% applaud him for that. Now, I wasn't a huge Kevin Samuels fan. I'm not going to say that. I got into Kevin Samuels after the whole Average at Best video came out. I didn't know who homie was. And then that's when I, came aboard. Kevin Samuels, right? With a lot of things that I agreed with him, there was some things that I disagreed with him. For example, I don't believe that you have to actually exercise your options if you got options available, right? If you're in a committed relationship, right? And you know that your shorty's with you ride or die, and you believe the same thing, right? Unless told otherwise, why would you share yourself just because you have options available? I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Women know when you have options around, and they will behave accordingly. So there's no need to exercise it. That's the only thing that I disagreed with him about. There was some other things, but that's some of the things I disagree with him about. I understand that he would say, just because you have those options don't mean you have to exercise it, but women should know that there are options there and all that other stuff, gotta share them and stuff. I don't know. Those are the things I disagree with them about. But there was a lot of disrespecting. I didn't know why. And these are the same women who are losers. These are the same women that Kevin Samuels will roast and will die alone with a bunch of cats and dogs that were basically going at him. First of all, the biggest thing I heard was, well, I guess he died alone. Haha. No, he didn't. He didn't die alone. Actually, he died with a fly looking shorty. Let's keep it 1,000. I seen some of her pictures. You know what I mean? She didn't die alone. Number 2, you know what I'm saying? He died broke with a less than $1,000. Man, listen. I doubt Kevin Samuels was dumb financially. I doubt that. But I know for a fact he probably he worked in the corporate space. Okay. He pretty much knew how to dib and dab with finances. He was nowhere near a loser or a buffoon when it comes to finances. I doubt that. I really do doubt that. Now, talking about less than $1,000, come on, that's not true. First of all, some of these people don't even know what they're talking about, right? Another thing that that I heard was he's probably secretly gay, and we're gonna find out after. Like, if that would have been the case, don't you think the person that would have called 911 would have been a dude instead of some fly looking shit? Come on now. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, brother. You know what I mean? The thing is that it seems to me, and I have to agree with Kevin Samuels, Donovan Sharp, Fresh and Fit, I'm gonna have to agree that it seems like nowadays women can't take the honest truth. Women cannot take the harsh accountability for what the things happen, not only to them but around them. It seems to me that might be the case, because the fact that Kevin Samuels didn't attack no race of people, but they're making it like he did. They're making it like he, and they're changing the narrative speaks to a larger truth. It speaks that he was actually saying something so profound and deep that these women could not handle it. They have to make stories up, which is insane. Which is insane. You know what I'm saying? Which is insane. So now there's a story that is coming out that the woman that he was with that night, her name came out and all that. I'm not gonna disclose it, but she's planning to sue YouTubers for misinformation because some of these YouTubers are claiming that she's the reason why Kevin Samuels passed away. Now, let me tell y'all something. Last time I checked, you can't sue a YouTuber for freedom of speech unless it's defamation and it actually hurts you financially. That's when you can sue somebody for freedom of speech. Shout out to Tasha K. She found out the hard way, right? You know, with the whole Cardi B and Tasha K thing. Lord Jesus. Kevin Samuels had more than 1 million followers. There's nowhere near him being broke, nor having anything good to say. Listen, when you're that high up in the limelight, especially, I'm not gonna say somebody new, but especially somebody that got there and got there pretty quickly, there's gonna be a lot of things that's gonna be happening at once, and you're gonna have a lot of detractors, right? I thought I had a lot of detractors, but guess what? No, that was nowhere near, what Kevin Samuels has. Now, because he passed away, and this shorty's name is literally everywhere, I could only imagine the amount of hate she is going to have and is receiving right at this very minute. And yeah, no wonder she's talking about, I'm going to sue. Yeah, go ahead. Sue their pants off. You know what I'm saying? Sue their pants off, because that's not something you should be tolerating, especially if you had nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely, she should definitely go sue. You know what I mean? More power to her. You know what I'm saying? And I will definitely keep y'all up to date on the latest thing. Now, moving on to the next topic at hand. Elon Musk buys Twitter. Woo! What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? So let me tell y'all, first of all, let me tell you what it is. All right. One thing I learned in business, one thing that I learned when opening up certain avenues of revenue for myself is credit is very important, extremely important, and also never play with your own money. And this is very important right here, and why I'm gonna say this is because Elon Musk buys Twitter for $43 billion with the backing of Goldman Sachs. For anybody that doesn't know, Goldman Sachs is a huge hedge fund, insurance, company. They pretty much insure banks, and they got a huge hedge fund type of overhead and case files and all that other stuff. Pretty much they handle big type of money. You know what I'm saying? Basically, banking with them, that means you need to have like $1 million, right? Goldman Sachs is not just a bank that you just go any corner. It's like a chase. No. There's only one building, and that's in Manhattan. Okay. Goldman Sachs usually plays with the whole lending big amount for earning huge amounts. You know what I mean? So they play to win. For example, if anybody has the Apple credit card, right? The Apple credit card is backed by Goldman Sachs. That's a huge deal right there. You know what I mean? That's a huge deal right there. I'm not going to go into the logistics of it, but that's a huge deal right there. For some of the people that might have went over your head, I'm not going to explain it, but some of the people that caught it, yeah, caught it. But Goldman Sachs it's a huge player in the game. So what did Elon Musk do? He put in a quarter of his money and negotiated with Goldman Sachs to getting the rest of the money in order to buy Twitter. Now, Twitter, from that very estimate, was non-profitable from the beginning. All right, Twitter has been bleeding money, and they've been in the red for a while now, according to some estimates, and according to earning analysts looking at the company. The thing is that I believe that Elon Musk is going to take the company, elsewhere. He has a vision, right? And now his biggest thing is not only changing his whole vision of Twitter, but also making it profitable. That's what I think will convince Goldman Sachs to give that much money to Elon Musk, right? Because he's going to make it profitable. How will he make it profitable? I have no idea. But so far, Elon Musk is the owner of Twitter. And one of his biggest thing was having free speech. And that is one of the biggest things that I commend him for, is because, let's be honest, the smallest things that you say on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you get banned, deleted, shadow banned, lost, forgotten, and just damn near replaced. We all know a certain thing that happened in 2020. Well, late 2019, but 2020. And a bunch of information was coming out, and social media places were banning people for questioning. Just questioning. To the point where Joe Rogan became a household name, and Spotify became the hub of controversy because he wasn't holding back, and he was actually questioning and bringing in people that you will listen to at 6 p.m. in the news, tell you to do something, and then they will tell you to do something else right after. You know what I'm saying? So that right there says that there's something going on. Why the mass media misinformation? There's really no need for all of that. Not at all. You know what I'm saying? But these social media companies thought that it was a good reason, and that's why people would get banned left and right. Left and right. Remember? Learn how to code. Remember that? Getting banned left and right, and it's very unfair. Some people getting banned for the stupidest things. Some people getting banned for the most egregious things. The biggest people that got banned was Trump, Alex Jones, so on and so forth. Now, there is a huge gray area when it comes to freedom of speech. A huge gray area. I totally understand that freedom of speech also includes hateful comments and hateful. I get it. In my opinion, and this is just my opinion, right? freedom of speech does not include hate speech, but I know that I'm definitely wrong in that. I know that because, you know, the Supreme Court, you know, I get it. Now, the thing with that is, will Elon Musk allow Twitter to go rampant and run rampant? We already know the consequences for that. We know the consequences for that. There are certain guidelines that Twitter still needs to go abide by. But also, I know Elon Musk is going to push back because there's majority of these freedom of speech type of things. The majority of these little things that actually quelled us is complete BS. 100% BS. You know what I'm saying? 100% BS. So the thing about that is do I think it's a good thing? Of course. Of course I think it's a good thing. Do I think that it's going to change something? No. But the fact that all these other places already have outlets and parts of their social media intact with rules or whatever, it is what it is. What's I don't think Elon is gonna go that crazy with the rules. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he will. But anyway, tell me what you guys think. But moving on to my main topic. Anti-Latino slander shouldn't be tolerated. And that basically goes to the whole debate that I had yesterday. Now, why do I say anti-Latino slander should not be tolerated? One, I don't think nobody's gonna stand for disinformation and misinformation about your own culture, especially about your own people. But that's exactly what's going on. It's coming from all sides. It's coming from the right, it's coming from the left, it's coming from up and down. And we're basically caught in the middle. And it's up to larger platforms and larger people with big voices and small voices to actually combat that type of misinformation. Now, let me give you guys an example. Part of the anti-Latino slander that we should not be tolerating is, well, yeah, just immigrants. No. Let's make this one thing clear. And you give them facts and stats on this, because I had to do this and I shut people down. Let's make one thing clear. The majority of immigrants in this country are Asians. That's one. Two, y'all stole this part of Mexico. This part of what Latin people have. So if I were you, I'll be a little bit more humble. Y'all stole this. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of ways that we should not tolerate it. Combat it immediately and do it respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Do it respectfully. If they go with the name calling, you already won. It is what it is. Walk away. You know what I'm saying? But do it respectfully. Because once we have respectful discourse, that's when other things start coming into play. You know what I mean? That's when you start actually having intellectual, verbal combat. You know what I'm saying? So, for another example, I remember this one white supremacist came at me and said, well, when y'all people come here, y'all bring in diseases, y'all bring in drugs, and y'all bring in crime. And I had to remind the white supremacists that, well, if we do, we learned it from you. Because throughout this history, throughout human history, Mr. White Supremacist, you're the only one teaching us about diseases, crime, and drugs, Mr. White Supremacist. You know what I'm saying? But also, tell them that's an old stereotype that Latinos have been played with since the beginning of the border. That's an old stereotype, and that's a very racist stereotype, which you have to not tolerate, automatically, combat. Respectfully. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully. Another one, which I had in that debate, didn't have time to explain because I didn't, really want to. But in other places, in other debates, I did have time to explain. I remember this one crazy pro-black dude coming at me and told me that, y'all Latinos are white. And then I go, well, from your profiles, it seems like you like our white, Latina. So I don't think you should even be, that should be a point of contention for you. You know what I'm saying? No, but then you hit him with the history. Well, the reason why is because there's certain people who are lost in the sauce, who just don't know any better and just start picking that white label because that's what they think that they are. 2, miseducation. And 3, people who are properly educated, know the history, know the plight, but still choose to put down white because of racism. And everything goes back to white supremacy. Everything goes back to white supremacy. Everything goes back to what allowed us into chains. Everything goes back to that. Let's keep it 1,000% honest. The original language of our people is not Spanish. The original religion of our people is not Christianity, nor is some of the practices. All of this was amalgamation amongst different cultures when the Africans came over, and then the native people that were already there, and the Spanish and all this other stuff. That's amalgamation. You know what I'm saying? Remember, Latinos didn't come into play, or we didn't even begin to be existed until, truthfully be told, 1492. Once the Europeans set foot into our land, that's when the creation of our people became, because we were an amalgamation of everything. You know what I mean? Our true ancestors, if you really wanted to take it there, is the native people that were there. We can't really point to the ancestors who are the slave masters, because pointing to them would mean liking what they did and also saying that what they did was correct, which is completely naive and wrong. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, knowing this type of history is very important. Knowing this type of historical, like, how can I say this? Historical amalgamation of our creation. Knowing the historical plight that we went through is very, very important, because it will shut down literally everything that anybody could bring to us. And it shows power. The thing is, a lot of people tend to think because you're an ally with a certain group of people, you could take some, not the whole group, but some of the bullshit that these people spew. Wrong. The same way how you're gonna correct a white supremacist about anti-black sentiments is the same way how we should be correcting a white supremacist, a black person, an Asian, about anti-Latino sentiments. No matter who they are, it doesn't really matter. Because at the end of the day, they're coming in ignorant thoughts, even if it's, subconscious or conscious. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's unknowingly, sometimes it is knowingly. You got pretty much just fill the room out. You know what I mean? But that's what it is. That's what it is. We got to start curbing this type of misinformation. Because if we don't do it, who will? If we don't do it, we're just going to be, oh, okay, it is what it is. We're just, immigrants. Come on now. Come on now. Like I said, the majority of immigrants are not even Latino, to be completely honest. Look at the numbers. They're Asian. The majority of immigrants in this country are Asian. Look it up. I've been saying this from the beginning of my podcast. We're in episode 181 now. Come on. I've been saying this from the beginning. From the beginning. With all these other episodes, I've been curbing the disinformation. You know what I'm saying? One of the most popular ones. Well, there's Latino gangs that be targeting black folks, and they just leave it like that. No, they're black gangs that target Latinos. So which one is it? What's your point? Pointing that out. What's your point? You know what I'm saying? What's your point? What your point is that there's bad on both sides. That's what I'm seeing. But don't be saying that one side is more innocent than the other. No. There's bad on both sides. You know what I mean? There's bad on both sides. Let's keep it real. And also I just I just found this is literally completely off topic, by the way. Completely off topic, but I just found something out that was very interesting. That the word akata, it's a Nigerian word. The word akata does not mean a derogatory word for black Americans. I just found that out. It's really weird. Apparently akata it's a word that came from Nigerians to other Nigerians who came back into Nigeria acting kind of bougie, acting basically, like they're beyond, Nigeria. And that's when the word akata came from. It was just to call out the bouginess of other Nigerians who lost their culture, basically. It was never meant or even part of derogatory terms for black Americans. I didn't even know that. That's insane. I was like, wait, really? So, goes to show you, the more information you know what I mean? But anyway, tell me what you guys think about this episode. If you like it, not like it, it is what it is. Let me know. Remember, hit me up on Instagram and Twitter at the same name, radical_Latino_. And also, check out the website, officialopenwoundsmovie.com. I'm going to catch y'all later. Peace.